Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's day 42. I made it past day 40. Super happy about that. I'm still fasting because my stomach's still crap, but I'm feeling quite a lot better from not eating. I'm on the mend. I had a doctor's appointment with a doctor who I don't usually see. My dad came with me and did a lot of the talking for me and asked again if I could see that private doctor in London through his NHS hospital because my doctor had said that I couldn't. Literally 6 months of fighting and thinking that I couldn't because it was some massive big issue. This doctor literally clicked 2 clicks on the computer and said, "Oh, I can do that for you now. I'll refer you right now." So he referred me and I'm waiting to hear back on that. I'm really trying not to get my hopes up because they've been so shit in the past, but I really only have about 2 months left of not being able to eat before I will starve to death. So I'm still staying mostly at my parents' house. It's nice being there, although I have wanted to come back to mine and be an adult again because I do feel like I'm reverting back to being a teenager a little bit by not functioning by myself. But it's day 42 now. I've got amazing friends and family around me and I'm doing alright because of that, and I'm so thankful for that. Thank you very much for checking out my channel. This was day 42, just a very quick check-in today. I will check back in a little bit. Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's day 50. Oh my god, I can't believe I've made it to day 50. Like, what the fuck? I've been working a lot on my business stuff. I'm still super ill, but I've been really working on setting up my business and I'm in the final stages of getting it out there now. So obviously when it's registered I'll be able to tell you all what it is. But until then I'm just going to be calling it the business. I'm helping a friend set up a business as well, and we're in the learning stage. For anybody else wanting to set up a business, I think the very first stage is budgeting. And to do that you need to know all your finances, so saving up and just trying to save money, that's the first step in setting up a business, because if it's stuff you're selling online you can start a business with 100 quid, which really is not that much. That's a couple months saving if you're on benefits, or a week or two saving if you're working. Whilst working on my business idea I've realised that addiction can be channeled into all sorts of things and not just drugs, but addiction really can be a positive thing if you channel your drive and commitment into work or studying or sport. If you take up a sport, I think a great example of this is the fact that all serial killers are psychopaths, but not all psychopaths are serial killers. And I do believe you're born with addiction, or you're born with the predisposition to become an addict, and obviously environmental factors have to come into play to make that happen. But everybody who's been sexually assaulted, for instance, most of us become addicts, whereas if that hadn't happened we'd probably channel all of our addiction into positive things like work and school and things like that. Health wise I've still been very poorly, but I've been managing to force myself to eat 1 4-sip shake most days and a couple of sweets, but I've been throwing up and my stomach's bleeding. I may have found out what's wrong with me. I've been doing a lot of research and I came across a video, it just randomly popped up on my Facebook, of a woman who had a condition called superior mesenteric artery syndrome. It's a condition of the digestive system which is not actually in your digestive system, it's outside and causes arteries to be pressing on your intestine and squeezing it from a tube into a straw, basically. It's a rare but life-threatening condition if not found and treated, which mimics the symptoms of Crohn's disease and other inflammatory bowel diseases. Yet when the person suffering with it is tested through colonoscopies and endoscopies, everything comes back normal because there's nothing wrong inside there. Because of that, it's often misdiagnosed as irritable bowel syndrome and functional bowel disorders and then just not treated, or people are told to get on with it with dietary changes. Now, superior mesenteric artery syndrome, or SMAS, happens when the third part of the small intestine, the duodenum, becomes trapped and repressed between 2 arteries, the aorta and the supramesenteric artery. Now, the aorta is the biggest artery in your body, which carries oxygenated blood around your body to and from, and the supramesenteric artery is the largest artery around your digestive system, and it carries oxygenated blood from your chest all the way down to your pelvis or the bottom of your intestines, something like that. And because arteries are blood vessels, if you rupture one, it's going to shoot out blood at the same rate of your heartbeat. So to operate on somebody with superior mesenteric artery syndrome is so dangerous that 1 in 5 people who have the surgery to change it die. SMAS means that when somebody loses a lot of weight really quickly, the fat pads around the arteries disappears or lessens so much that the artery changes its angle and then represses and squishes the duodenum, the small intestine that it leans next to. And that then blocks food coming through, makes it excruciatingly painful to eat absolutely anything, and then the sufferer will lose more weight, and the more weight they lose, the worse the condition gets because the fat pad's just disappearing and the angle of the arteries getting even more out of place. And the treatments for it are basically surgery to change the position of the artery, but if they nip that, you are dead. Like, you're done. There's no fixing that. Even doctors can't fix it. I've watched the surgery videos. They're quite interesting if you like blood and gore. It's quite interesting to watch if anyone wants to check them out. SMAS surgery videos. Really interesting. But that artery around the fat when they cut it is... if they nip that, you are fucking gone. You're dead. So it's not worth the risk. But if you don't have the surgery, then you can't eat for the rest of your life, and you have to go on TPN, which is total parental nutrition. But they don't put you on that until you're literally starving to death. So I've got quite a while to go. I had blood tests that came back today, and I am malnourished, but not enough to go on tube feed, so maybe a couple more months. Hopefully that will be it, and all that pain will be gone. The new doctor I've seen that said he's going to refer me to my private doctor called me today with the results of my blood tests. He was a bit worried, but said that he's having trouble getting me referred to this private doctor because of a computer malfunction. And I told him that my stomach's bleeding, I'm throwing up coffee ground vomit, I'm not able to eat. But he said we're just going to have to wait until you're referred to him. But he's really trying, this doctor, to get me referred to the private one. But if he doesn't and they can't, then no one's going to look into this to see if I have this condition or something similar. I'm not going to get treated and I'm going to fucking starve to death. So I wrote a handwritten letter on paper, just really scribbly, messy writing, to the private doctor, just begging for help, just begging, saying, please help me, I don't want to die, I need your help, nobody's helping me, I found this condition, do you think it could be this, please can you just check? And in the past, the letter he had sent when I originally saw him, he was asking to do the test that diagnosed this condition. He was already looking for this, he already thought I had this. He just didn't say, because a lot of people die from it, so 33% of all sufferers will die anyway within 5 years, and 20% of people who have the surgery die just on the table there and then. But if you don't have the surgery and the TPN doesn't react with your body, then you starve to death within 3 years. So it's like, if I die from this, my family, I'm gonna make sure my family can sue the fuck out of every one of these cunts that's told me, oh, there's nothing wrong with you, oh, we can't do anything, oh, you've had loads of tests, see you later, fuck off, like, oh, it's just diet, get on with it. It's not fair. And this is how I know my addiction treatment's going well, because even though I'm treating myself basically, like I'm doing a few Narcotics Anonymous meetings, but I'm not following it correctly, I'm really getting clean by myself. As soon as I read the facts and sort of spoke to the doctor and realised there is a chance I could die in the next like couple of years, because I lost all the weight 2 years ago, I've been ill for 4 years, but really skinny, like slim and ill for the last 2 years, so people with this condition die after 3 years, and I've had it for 2, so I might only have a year left. And with my addiction and drug use, if that had been said to me last year, I would have thought, well, fuck it, what's the point of getting clean? I'm going to go and get high. But now, with that thought in mind, that I'm with that kind of death sentence, all I'm thinking is, shit, I don't want to waste a single day high or coming down off drugs or drink. I don't want to waste a single fucking day. I want to go out and enjoy myself and make memories with my family and loved ones, because that's what life's about. I want to make loads of videos, like fun videos, not just mental health ones or stuff like this. I want to help people as much as I can, and I don't want to waste a single moment being high or coming down and feeling shit. I told my regular GP about this condition I found called SMAS, and he looked through my file and agreed that he thinks I could have it. That is definitely a possibility. And I also told him to look back on my previous endoscopies, on the tests I have already had, because every single time I've had an endoscopy over the last 4 years, and I've had 3, which is a lot, They've never been able to get into the third part of my small intestine, the duodenum, which is what this condition affects, because it was restricted, small, or completely blocked off and narrower than it should be. And that's the words of the doctors. So surely that's a telltale physical sign that I could have this condition. And I know that diagnosis is scary and life-threatening, but at least I'd know what's wrong with me so they could treat it and I could get on with my life. I'm sick of being ill and stuck, just doing nothing. I want to make something of myself and help other people and get my business out there so that I can sort my family out and no one would have to struggle for money. I'm going to press on and call these doctors every day, and I'm going to keep fucking bugging them until they fucking help me and sort out what's wrong with me. I love you all. I'm at day 50. I'm so happy about that and so proud of myself. Onwards and upwards. I hope everyone has a lovely day. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. Like and subscribe for more. Mwah. Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's day 53 of my recovery from heroin addiction journey. I've managed to stay clean. I'm super happy about that. My health has been okay actually. I've still been trying to fast and then binging on the days that I'm not fasting, which is just really out of my control, and I'm trying to stop that because it's so bad for my stomach condition. And it's also stopping me from losing more weight, which is what's making the doctors look into what's wrong with me. And if I continue to maintain or even gain weight, then the doctors won't give a shit about looking into what's wrong with me, and I'll be stuck with this condition forever. My new doctor I've been seeing actually managed to get me referred to the private doctor through the NHS, so I'm so happy about that, and I just cannot express how relieved I am to finally be being treated. And I know that this private doctor was actually looking into the condition I've found that I really think it could be. Before I found it, last year, the scans and tests he wanted to do would have found this condition that I think it could be. And if it is this condition, and I've gone a whole year without being diagnosed from this condition that could kill me, then I'm going to sue the fuck out of every fucker who did not believe me and made me think it was all in my head and stopped me getting treatment when this could be prevented, and now I might die from it. So, a bit scared about that, but I'm here and I'm thankful, and I'm going to be happy and hopefully successful. I've been really working on my business plan. It's really coming together now. I'm really hoping to have that set up in a few weeks. I'm just counting on saving at the moment, as that's the main obstacle left now that in the way of me and reaching my goal of starting this business, which I hope to be successful. I've started financing to try and budget, but it's really hard and I'm still ended up with no money at the end of each month, so I really need to do something about that if I'm to start this business, because you can't start a business without money. So I've started saving, and I have run out of money again this week, but this week's payday I'm going to save all of it and only spend the absolute essential things that I need to spend money on. I'm still at my parents' house. It's been a massive help coming here, I think, in terms of rehabilitation. Although no one's a qualified therapist or drugs counsellor here, I'm surrounded by people that love and support me, and I still haven't had this proper chat that I'm supposed to have with my parents and want to have about my addiction, how bad it got, the specifics of how bad it was and what I was doing and what I was using and why I was using. But I've told them I want to write everything down before I say it, because I don't want to miss anything out and I don't want to end up arguing. But I know they'll have questions and grievances, and I want to be able to best answer that and be prepared. So I'm going to try and write that out today and either sit down with my parents and talk about it when they can next, when they're able to, or just write it and leave it as a letter and give it to them to read when I'm not in the room. I'm planning to do another long water fast, as the 12-day fast I did in December really helped me. But it's day one again, and I always seem to be on day one. I can never get past the end of the day. But I'm hoping to make a video blog for the water fasting to hopefully give me more chance of succeeding. I found making these video diaries and vlogging my experience in quitting drugs has massively helped me stay sober. It gives me a reason to wake up in the morning, and I hope it will give me the strength I need to succeed in my water fasting journeys. I'm just going to start with a 10-day fast for now, but we'll see how it goes, and hopefully I'll be able to progress onto much longer fasts. If anyone else is thinking about fasting, please consult your doctor. It's not healthy. I'm not a nutritionist and I'm not qualified in any way, shape or form. It can be really dangerous if you don't know what you're doing and you're not medically supervised. So please don't just fast like I'm doing without medical supervision, because it's very dangerous. But if you do it properly and under medical supervision, it can be very beneficial in terms of treating health problems if it's in the right circumstances and done in the proper way. But yeah, as with anything I talk about, please consult your doctor. I'm not a professional and I don't want anyone getting hurt on account of something I've said. So please, please, please always speak to your doctor or ask a professional before taking any advice that I've given you. I've still continued with Narcotics Anonymous meetings. I haven't been going every week to the in-person ones, but I've been twice now, and I've been doing the Zoom meetings most days, and I'm finding it really helpful. I don't agree with everything on there still, but for the most part it's been quite helpful. And with anybody else not wanting to go, even though they may be struggling with addiction, I think Narcotics Anonymous program is best suited for those who have lost complete control and are out of control in their daily lives using it every day. But I think it can still be very helpful for people who were like me, where they weren't using it all the time, or you're still very much in control, but it's still a very helpful program. And that alongside Smart Recovery, which you can Google, and that's a self-recovery based program where they actually give you tools and steps of how to quit, and it's not just praying to God like, oh please save me. It's all things you can do yourself. So that's very good in recovery for mental health, addiction, self-harm, anything that you can struggle with really. And that's called Smart Recovery UK. That's not a sponsor or anything, I've just found them quite helpful for me. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I will check in again later, and this was day 53 of my recovery from heroin addiction journey. Thank you so much for being a part of my recovery and following me, and if this is your first time watching me, then I hope to keep you entertained enough to come back in the future. Thank you so much. Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's day 60. I made it to day 60, so I'm proud of that, and I don't really know how to feel. I didn't plan on coming this far, but I'm so glad I have. It's been quite a tough week, to be honest. It's Sunday today, and on Thursday, long story short, a family member really messed me about with a lift, and I ended up having to walk and do public transport for 4 hours, which is just way too much for my body to handle with all my physical health conditions, and it fucked me up so much that I ended up in pain worse than any time I've used heroin to deal with the pain. And I was so close to using to just make my day manageable, because this one person fucked me up, made me cancel my lift, and then refused me the lift they'd made me cancel my previous plans for. I spent the whole of Friday in so much pain that I couldn't even sleep or eat, so I was up all night, and then Saturday I still had things to do in the morning, so I went and did those, and then I was just fucked. I spent the whole day asleep in bed after my errands, and it was so hard to get up that Friday I was so sick that I couldn't even make it to the toilet because of my pain. My legs just wouldn't work. That was so humiliating and degrading, because at 26 I shouldn't be dealing with problems like this. And it wasn't just the family member who'd messed me about with lifts. I was also helping a friend in hospital and pushing him around in a wheelchair, to later find out that he'd fucking gone out anyway, walking just fine. So it was all for nothing, and I've completely fucked my body over. I looked like I'd been using the day after, so much so that my dad actually asked me, like, why are you so fucked? What's going on? Why are you in bed all day? And I said, well, I told you about the lift that was fucked around. This is what it will cause me. This is what it costs my body. And this is how I'm going to be for the next week or two. And he was like, what, you're that fucked from walking a little bit? And I was like, well, yeah, this is what happens to my body when I'm forced to do too much. So I still feel like, even though I've been sick for nearly 5 years now, my family still just don't understand it, and they'll probably never understand. It also cost me the work I would have been able to complete on my business this week. I would have been able to start off my business, but I've been so sick that I've been in bed all day for the past few days, and threw up when I did eventually eat. So my stomach's got worse. I think that's due to stress, but it's making it impossible to eat, and I try not to fast when I've been overexerting myself, because my body needs the strength, it needs the calories, but I just haven't been able to do that. So I guess at least I'm water fasting, but because it's unintentional, it's not very healthy. I'm eating a couple of sweets a day and throwing that up usually. So I hope I can sleep tonight, but it's been really hard to sleep, because when I can sleep, despite the pain, I've been getting psychotic, the voices have come back again, and I know it's just because I'm tired, I know it's not real, but it doesn't make it any less scary and traumatic. When I did hear them the other night, it's like how most people get sleep paralysis, but it's usually when they're waking up from dreaming the next morning. Mine is almost like before I fall asleep, just as I'm falling asleep, it's like I start dreaming whilst I'm still awake. And the voices and stuff, I can't even remember what they say after, but it's just so fucking scary. And my dreams are like I'm in a horror movie, like somebody else is showing me their life. It's really weird, like I was in somebody else's dream. I get some really fucked up nightmares sometimes, and I punched myself in the chin, just under here. I've got a massive bruise from punching myself in my sleep. So that obviously looks even more like I've been using because I'm pale with fucking massive bruises on my face. But despite how much pain I am in, I'm really proud of myself for not using. I was sick enough that if I had made that video of me being absolutely fucked in pain and then using heroin for the pain and showing how well I can walk and eat and dress myself and everything after using, this would have been the perfect time to make that video, but I just cannot control myself mentally with it, so I need to stay off it completely, which is really shit because it's such a good painkiller and it works so well with your body and brain, and if it was legalised, it could help so many people and really improve the quality of life of physical illness sufferers like me that have lost half their 20s from being ill. I've nearly lost all of my 20s. I lost my fiance, I was engaged, I lost the ability to drive, to work, to walk, to go to the toilet by myself. I might not ever have children because of this. I've lost so much to this disease, an unknown illness. And if I was allowed heroin and if it was medical grade, it would enable me to work, to walk, to drive, to make something of myself. So starting a petition to get that legalised, I think, is still on the table, and I would love to see that happen in my lifetime, but in a constructive and medical approach way so that it could help people, because I really think it could. And I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash for saying that, but I want to be as open and honest on this channel, and it's not out of not caring what people think because I don't want to just deliberately upset people, but it's coming from a place of wanting to be able to share what could potentially help hundreds or thousands of people. I've been continuing with Narcotics Anonymous program. I'm not really working the program 100% in the fact that I'm still drinking now and then because I think it's really social and I want to be able to go into a pub. I want to be able to go to family gatherings and events like that without it stopping social aspects of my life, which are already very limited due to my health problems. But overall, I think the program's quite helping me, and going to the meetings and being able to log on any time of the day or night and have a meeting on when I'm craving or just need to vent, it's really helpful and I'm enjoying going. One really good thing that I have found since quitting drugs, despite how much pain I'm in, is the fucking money I've been saving. Like, I've been able to buy such decent birthday presents, and I've been able to help my sister out for money. I've been able to help family and friends out for money and start saving again to put it towards my business idea that I'm going to be setting up hopefully in the next few months. It was one of my best friend's birthday recently this week, and I bought her some white gold hooped earrings with diamond glitter in them, which is just fucking crazy. It was nearly £200, but the thing I ask myself before I spend money now is if I would have spent that on drugs in one go, and if the answer is yes, then it's okay to spend on other people. I hope everyone's having a good day. I'm really happy that I've made it to day 60, and I hope to continue these video blogs. I really want to make other videos, all these other things I have planned to make for this channel, and hopefully some more fun and upbeat videos. But from a recovery standpoint, I'm doing really well, and I've stayed clean despite being in all this pain and despite the really hard week I've had. I'm doing it, I'm fighting it, and I'm hopefully not going to die and put that on my family as their last memory, seeing me fucking junked up and wasted, just the whole life gone. Hopefully my family won't have to go through that, like sadly so many others have. And I'm thankful for that. I'm reaching out to a higher power every day to just think of all the things I'm thankful for, remind myself of my goals, remind myself why I'm putting up with all this pain as opposed to using heroin and not being in pain, because I care about my family more than I care about myself. So as long as they're happy, then I know I'll be happy no matter how much pain I'm in. I will try and make more videos this upcoming week, but I'm in a lot of pain, so it'll probably be only once every few days. But I will definitely do more than one a week, which is how long it's been since my last check-in. I hope everyone's having an amazing day. Thank you so much for being a part of my recovery journey. I couldn't honestly do it without this channel up, so I hope it's helping someone. It's worth it. Love to you all. If you're struggling with anything, please go and ask for help, because it's so much easier with people around you. Be proud of yourself that you're here another day, especially with mental health and stuff. I know it's really hard, but I'm so thankful and grateful that I've been given this second chance to sort myself out and be here, because not everyone I know has made it. And I'm really lucky to have all the support networks that I have, and to be here and to have another chance in life. So I'm going to try and get it right this time. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more. This was day 60 of my recovery from heroin addiction journey. Mwah.